Okay, so today for my curriculum presentation, I'm going to be focusing on helping protect children within the child welfare system. So first, I'm going to focus on the background. Children within the child welfare system all too often experience abuse and neglect. This is a serious social issue that needs to be fixed. A child is abused or neglected every 48 seconds in America, which is 1,785 each day. Nearly three-quarters of all child maltreatment cases are related to some form of neglect. A brief section from the article, Child Maltreatment Prevention, Past, Present, and Future, points out that there's a growing recognition that child maltreatment is a substantial public health concern, as well as a serious social issue. So the grand challenge that this social issue relates to is helping to ensure healthy development for youth. So this issue at hand is focusing on major problems within the child welfare system, and that it's hindering healthy development for these children. By focusing on these issues, we can in turn change what is not working effectively, and to help bring a stop to or to help bring about healthy development and help bring a stop to abuse and neglect in the child welfare system. So research literature that I was able to find focuses on that a current approach to child maltreatment prevention relies on enhancing the role of communities by strengthening protective factors within a child's environment and helping to provide prevention services that will be geared towards various segments of the population. So an example from Bassett in 2013 is that there's a current emphasis on community-oriented prevention that can be seen in the Doris Duke Charitable Foundation shift from a parent education approach to a place-based approach. Which is stressing that the role of communities, it can help in promoting child well-being, and that this growing recognition of long-term health consequences of child maltreatment will likely cause a drive in the continual interest in helping to strengthen programs and services that strengthen both families and children, and to also and reduce the incidence of abuse and neglect. So to help have successful prevention of child abuse and neglect will require the use of a multi-pronged and cross-systems response for supporting resources that ensure the well-being and safety of a child and children across this nation, and a collaboration across child-serving systems, attention to cultural norms for every child, investments in both family and community strengthening programs, increased use of early and evidence-based interventions, and also public health approaches to maltreatment will also go a long way towards improving outcomes for the youth in the child welfare system. So this information originates from the July 2017 article, Child Maltreatment Prevention, Past, Present, and Future. And lastly, I want to conclude this section of the research literature by focusing on a brief snippet from the State of America's Children, which points out that more resources are needed to ensure that every child can grow up in a safe and stable and loving family. So next, I want to focus on the social work theory that I picked out to connect with my presentation, and that is the psychosocial development, Erik Erikson's theory. So I want to give a couple examples that will help to explain why I chose this theory. So a child who is in the child welfare system and is in, say, stage 2 of development, they are going through the early childhood period and they are experiencing autonomy versus shame and doubt. So this child is starting to be more mobile, learn new skills, and learn their own abilities. So they will begin to assert their own independence as well. And however, in this stage, if a child is experiencing abuse and neglect, they will begin to, or can potentially begin to feel inadequate, and eventually become overly dependent on others potentially, and lack self-esteem, and even feel a sense of shame or doubt in their own abilities. That's one example. Another example I wanted to give was a child in the child welfare system who is in stage 3 of Erik Erikson's psychosocial development theory. which is the initiative versus guilt stage. And a child in this stage will begin to more frequently begin to play. They will begin to assert themselves through the direct play with others, and other social interactions will occur at this stage as well. So if a child is not given this opportunity and is faced with issues like control or criticism, the child will begin to have a sense of guilt, essentially. And too much guilt in a child will too much guilt, and the child will approach interactions with others a lot more slowly than a child who is not experiencing this. And it can ultimately inhibit their creativity as well. And it's important to have a healthy balance for a child to help them to grow developmentally. And so this is what I thought fit very well with this issue, and I hope you all agree as well. So the next thing I want to go to is the pillars of advanced generalist practice. So by focusing on this multi-dimensional framework, we can help to better understand and assist the child welfare system when we create a network that allows children to be better protected and assisted from various resources within their community. So social workers can help to advocate for children in the welfare setting and understand the various and complex agencies that, when intertwined, can truly help support children and allow for a healthy childhood. So I thought that each of these little bullet points under cultural competency, empowerment, and social justice fit very well with each pillar, and what a social worker will be helping with in regards to the child welfare system. So I want to point out this little box below the pillars of advanced journalist practice that I thought was very fitting for this PowerPoint, which is, it comes from strengthening the child welfare system for America's children, and that is, children from all backgrounds have the potential to become successful and thriving adults, yet without committed loving families that can provide encouragement, stability, and lifelong connections. Some children may never receive the support needed to realize that potential in themselves. So next, I want to focus on the CWE competencies, and I felt like the competency 2, 3, 6, and 8 fit very well. With this, I think that these 4 competencies that are listed above are a few of the core competencies that social workers are likely to use while helping to confront the issue of abuse and neglect within the child welfare system. These core competencies highlight the pieces that will likely come about when helping advocate for children in the child welfare system as well. So the next thing I want to focus on, not the last thing, is the social work values. And this is that the most relevant values for the 6 core social work values that assist in helping advocate, assess, intercede, and understand this challenge within the child welfare system include service, social justice, dignity and worth of the person, importance of human relationships as well. So I felt like these core values will assist social workers in helping make a change in the child welfare system, which in turn will help to better protect children. And I truly felt like these are a few of the social work values that will really be at the front of helping these children and helping advocate for them, empower them, and help fight for their social justice and cultural competency as well. So I really just want to conclude with that within the child welfare system, there needs to be a change. It needs to be made to help prevent so many children from experiencing abuse and neglect. What can be done next is to help organizations that work within the child welfare sector to make connections and to work together to help achieve these goals together. This will in turn help to strengthen children and families and to help them lead happier and healthier lives. And if these families and children are able to see that their community is connected and strong and there to help them as well, they will feel stronger and better probably that their community is there to help them and back them up and help support them, and it will be easier for them to make a transition to lead happier and healthier lives for the children. And I wanted to point out again that like strengthening community programs, increasing use of early evidence-based interventions, public health health approaches to maltreatment will go a long way toward improving outcomes in the child welfare system for youth. So yeah, that was all I had to say. So thank you guys so much for listening.